Okay, so I'll quickly go over what they're talking about, then I'll do a V2K versus me. So they're talking about now, they thought this was some way of making what they keep saying reward and punishment. So they'll hit me in certain areas of my body. They said that they used to make me hiccup, so they were trying to reactivate that area, like right under the bust area is where I feel like a sensation, but it doesn't make me hiccup. So they're trying to give an excuse, just like they said they thought I would be the type of person to excuse my bad behavior by coming up with an excuse for it. That's what they're doing. So this is really about them. So I found, a video where they admitted out loud that they did this to involve me in it after the fact. I wasn't going to be involved. I'm going to link that video because that video talks about my elementary school mate, high school mate, college mate, who I went to school with for years. And we've known each other since we were kids. And he's Latino and he developed MS in college. But also, a good part of that video, they keep saying it was out loud, meaning when I'm telling you these things, this is years later. This started out loud for everyone to hear it in about 2019. They keep lying and saying that it wasn't, but they said that was their way of trying to trick people into doing this. It's out loud. And when you walk outside, you actually hear people's voices. It's not quiet, it's out loud. So when they lied and said, why don't you ask a third person if they hear it? I don't have to. I hear it. I mean, like, it's as though, again, I talked about this in a previous video. I'm not supposed to be able to trust my own mind, my own ears, my own experience. So they keep saying, they kept saying, I'm going to do the V2K versus me right now. Latino music. In a video, I must have said the guy was playing like Latino music. And they're like, Latino music's not Latino music. It's Latin music. I found something that talks about a lot of things that refer to it as Latino music. There's blues, Latino playlists. There's a lot of things that use Latino as the word instead of Latin. Again, I would go nuts if I listened to everything they said. It's like uh anything. If you say, okay, we don't want you to call it Latin music, it's Latino music. Latino music, you don't call it Latin music. It's just a way of getting an argument. So I've heard it talked about either way. They said, oh, they thought I made a mistake. That's my whole point. Everything I do seems to them to be wrong. And even they admit it. They seem to have a way of thinking there's a right way of doing things, a wrong way of doing things, a right way of saying things. And yet when they do something wrong and it doesn't work out, they're upset. I'm going to press this. Oh, that's zoomed. Oh, no. I don't get that little thing on the screen that is bright. But the whole point is they get upset when they think I've done something the wrong way. But when they do something the wrong way, then they're upset that I say the same thing. When I was in court out loud, someone was like, oh, I was doing something on the phone. Like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing on her own phone, like in my own privacy. But that's my point. They're trying to, in their minds, come up with what I'm thinking. And I continue to do what I was doing. And that's my point. And I'll just give you a really quick idea of what they were talking about. They said I was doing something wrong, but my phone was on airplane mode anyway, so it wasn't like I was doing anything wrong. But again, they think they can think for me. So going back to something else they talked about, when they're talking about reward and punishment, they're saying that they wanted to make it seem like if I did what they wanted me to do, pretty much, they would reward me. Where was my reward in all of this? It wasn't there. So I'm going to link a video where I came home from a day I went to reapply for Medicaid and welfare. And out loud, all of these things were said. And they're upset. Why are they more upset that I said it in a video than it was said out loud? And that's part of this whole process. There's something about this entire program where they do the worst things ever. And that's not upsetting. It's exposing it that's upsetting. I would think doing it is more of a problem than exposing that it's being done. So that's that. The other big deal that I want to tell you about is as I am falling, and I did a video when I was in the came back from the hospital, maybe I think it was August. I wrote some notes, but I don't have it right near me. August. And after I came from the hospital, and I talked about how when I was in the hospital, the bed had an alarm, so I wouldn't get out of bed because they didn't want me to fall. So as I'm going through the process of falling again, they're upset also, because it has to be neurological. And I do have, like I've shown you, I have a diagnosis that does say it's neurological. But they're saying, well, they were trying to play games with me because I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do and not tell me the true diagnosis. This is my problem. This is my problem with this whole entire process. This is not a game. This is my life they're talking about. Just like when they're referring to things in their lives, they wanted to involve me in this group. I think it's all a lie. I think it's all was about recruitment into getting me to do the wrong thing. And when I wouldn't do the wrong thing, then all of a sudden there's a program. I'm in a group. They're talking to me while I'm sleeping, and I'm 40 something years old. As opposed, this is me now trying to get the light back. As opposed to the truth, it didn't make sense before. It makes even less sense now. It goes back to me saying, there's something wrong if I have a list of things that I've done in my lifetime and these people weren't included, to suddenly now say I'm in a program. Well, it wouldn't be fair to the other people who are not in this program to have been around me with this program in progress, I guess. The other big point about that is that, let me pause this out because I do have a few notes and there was something else I wanted to talk about. Okay, so the video that I was talking about, the hospital alarm on my bed, was because I was sick and would fall. That was August 2023. And it talked about them wanting to use me to market this technology. And in a video after that, I said, well, why would you use me? First of all, I don't see your dreams. I'm not going to lie and say that I do. You wouldn't be able to prove that I see your dreams anyway. You would use somebody who would be able to see your dreams, who would admit to seeing your dreams, and they say, oh, that's a Freudian slip. It's not a Freudian slip. It's logical. If this technology actually existed, this would be a billion-dollar industry if it didn't make you have neurological symptoms, of course. But it would be a billion-dollar industry. Do you know how many people would have wanted to try this technology had it not been a problem? I've told you guys in the previous videos, I was never experiencing neurological problems. I didn't have the medical issues. I showed you guys my pap smear and HPV test results from 2015. I didn't have these issues. So why, if this was something that would be positive, wouldn't it have been marketed based on someone else years ago? Now, here's part of this issue. Part of the issue is they're not realizing if you are pretending this technology is true and exists. And I've seen people say that they've seen things or heard things, but it was more like it's fuzzy. It was no one ever, in any video I've seen, in any tweets that I've seen, in any comments I read, someone said, absolutely, this is what exists. This. No one has done or said that. And that's part of the issue I'm having with this. If this had been real technology that could work legitimately, not through your walls, people running around, pretending they're not doing it, then they're doing it, it would have been the biggest thing in the news. It would have gone to market years ago. There's something else that was said in one of the videos. Like, as I'm going over the videos, I'm making notes so I can kind of pull them up quickly. There was something else. They said, I am one of the few people who have done this to that's still alive. That's a problem. I'm not going to be the face of this. And that kind of makes more sense, because they said in the beginning, when I was first doing these videos on camera, they keep confusing themselves by saying, well, in 2014, when you started, you weren't on camera, you were kind of behind the scenes. Maybe it's because you're Black. Maybe it's because I worked jobs and I didn't want what I did in videos to affect my job. I mean, simplest answer. But once I became victimized by this, I went on camera. I went on camera in 2019, and I had tape on the camera. And when I took it off, it kind of like really kind of, not a clear view. but I didn't use my name. I don't think I used my name, or maybe I did. I'm not sure. But I didn't go into a long thing, and I didn't do a lot of other videos on camera. It wasn't until about 2022, I think, that I really started doing the videos this way. And you can see I'm kind of looking at the screen, not quite sure how to film a video with me in it. So the big deal about that is that if this were something that people would market, it would be legal. You wouldn't have to hide. You wouldn't have to come out with this years later, and people wouldn't be dying from it. It does kill. So as I'm falling and I'm getting sick, and they're saying, they expected me to be sick. Yes. They're not marketing anything. And I feel like maybe that's what I feel, that in some ways, people who are being victimized are being victimized again. In them wanting me to make, a scene and make this into a fight, to take the focus off it, when would be the positive? So at what point would me starting a fight become marketing technology for people to see dreams that people don't see? At what point? Is it when the police come and they say, surprise, it's about dreams? No, it's just a way of sucking more victims in. And partially why this had to happen this way is that I would be the person they would expect to suck more victims in. And I'm trying to do the opposite. I sent a comment to somebody that said, if we can tear this thing down, AI is being torn down. So no more can people use AI to create child pornography, which is disgusting. And it uses regular people's pictures of children and puts those images in the AI system to teach the AI system about these things. That is why I didn't want to put my childhood pictures out there, because they do have some sort of weird obsession with me. The other big deal about this, okay, stalking. Stalking should be taken seriously each and every time. There shouldn't be one instance when someone is stalked that isn't taken seriously. Why? Because stalking is a special type of crime. It's a crime where it's not flattering. It's not, oh, you're so wonderful. No, it's a crime about control, where someone becomes so obsessed with another person that they want to control their emotions, how they live their lives, take away their freedom. And this is what this was about. The other big point was, there was another thing. EMF. The level of electromagnetic field frequency in your home should be regulated. It's regulated for your cell phones. Your radio frequency is regulated for your cell phones. There's a certain level. And this had to have exceeded that level for the high EMF readings that I used to get. What else was there? There was something else. There are other things. So meaning voice cloning. That's another thing. They were going to have my voice cloned so that it would sound like I'm the one talking. So when they're coming up with this computer generated program based on me, it would be sort of my voice in my own head talking, annoying myself. That's probably the hardest part of this. Who can live with themselves knowing that they're doing this and think it's fine? So at what point am I going to be marketing that? I am not. I'm going to be fighting it each and every day. And even when I went to court, I'm having a hard time getting a restraining order. I don't know why. But I'm going to continue to pursue getting restraining orders of everyone involved. I'm going to continue putting these videos out. They said they're not going to market my videos because YouTube doesn't want to go in this direction. Well, fine. I'll keep doing everything I can to get my videos out there. I'm leaving X because I don't want my information to train AI. But I will do everything I can to get this information out there. I do believe these are the people behind putting voices in people's heads. And I'm going to link the Fry video that talks about your behavior and your emotional states can be altered by targeting your brain, literally your head, and putting you in an electromagnetic field. That's how serious this is. Thank you for watching.